First, apply the gripping primer from Smashbox. Oh, I'm sorry, Cover FX. This is my favorite primer. It really keeps on my makeup all day. So I'm using the NARS Sheer Glow, as I said, and this is a pretty dark shade for me, but I'm a little self-tan right now. And I just apply it on the back of my hand. Make sure to wash your hand afterward. I can't even tell you how many times I have walked out with a huge orange spot on my hand. And as I said before, I'm using the mini base brush from Sonia G to apply it because it is a dewy foundation that's really, really liquidy. So if I use a sponge, it's just going to shear it out completely. Next, I'm going to use the Makeup Revolution concealer. This is in the shade C9. And this is a really, really light concealer. So this is a trick. I will just apply this to the inner corner of my eye. Notice how I'm not taking it all the way down. And I'm not going to apply it all over my eye because it's so light. Just using it to brighten up my under eyes. And I am going to use a Juno & Co sponge. And I actually did not wet the sponge at all because I want it to apply the concealer full coverage. If you wet the sponge, it's going to shear it out. And I'm just taking it and spreading it around. And I'm applying some on my lid as my primer. So a trick that I like to use is I like to use a concealer on my inner corner, and then I'll take the foundation I'm using and use that on the rest of my under eye. That way I can really layer the concealer without it looking cakey. I'm using the Sonia G one of her new Lotus brushes for this. But if you keep on piling on concealer, it's just going to look really cakey and going to make you look aged and bring out all the fine lines. So I use foundation underneath my eyes, actually more often than concealer. Just bring it all over my face as well. Next, I'm going to set my under eye with the Tarte Park Avenue Princess. If you have a like yellow undertone or a pink undertone, that's going to determine which setting powder you want to use. So I have like a neutral undertone leaning warm. So I like to use the banana powder in this palette. I'm setting my top lid as well. Next, I'm going to use a powder brush from Practic. And I'm going to set my face with the MAC Skin Finish. This is the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in medium beige. This is going to add a little bit more coverage, but mostly going to set my face. Bringing down my neck as well so it all matches. So now that my face is set, all powdered, I can now move on to other things. But sometimes when I am really tired, I like to just apply a little dot of concealer right underneath my eye. Just a small bit, and I'll just blend that in. That's really my problem area, which is why I tend to spend a lot of time on my under eyes. I have genetic dark circles. Now I'm going to bronze my face with the Kosas Baked Bronzer. I'm going to use this big brush from ColourPop, just a fluffy fan brush, and I'm just going to apply it where the sun naturally hits on my forehead, on my cheeks, and down my neck. Not really contouring here, just warming up the skin. Now I'm going to curl my eyelashes with this. This is the Shiseido Eyelash Curler. It's my absolute favorite. And I'm going to apply the CoverGirl. This is their, it's like a $5 mascara from CoverGirl. I absolutely love it. It's their All Last mascara. Really good for volumizing and lengthening. Next, I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. X Gen Atkins Palette. And I'm going to use this large powder brush from Sonia G. And I'm just using the blush in this palette, like a peachy pink. It's not very pigmented, so I have to go in a few times to get full pigment, but it is an affordable price. So because it's not full pigment, I decided to go in with the Sigma brush that's more dense because I like my blush to pop. Next, I'm going to highlight my face with the iconic London highlighter. And I'm just going to use this brush and I'm just going to swirl all the colors together and apply it just above my cheekbone. Really beautiful sheen. I'm going to apply it down my nose, all the places I want highlighted, and on my forehead. Next, I'm going to go in with this rougher pointed brush. And a new trick I've been using is I've been using this contour palette and going in with the darkest shade to fill in my eyebrows. And it has been looking really natural. So I'm going to go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Italian Summer Trio. I'm just going to highlight underneath my brow bone, on my Cupid's bow, on my bottom lip, and a little bit down my nose as well. I'm going to go in with the bronzer and actually use it to create a crease. I'm using the Sonia G Blender Pro to do this. Next, I'm going to go in with the Sonia G fan brush and just blend everything out so it is not all choppy. I'm going to go in with that bronzer in the e.l.f. X Gen Atkins palette and I'm going to contour my face. And I have tutorials on all these steps in depth on my channel. I'm going to go in with the Sonia G flat definer brush and I'm going into this matte white shade. I'm just going to highlight my inner corner as well. Now I'm going to dip into these two medium shades. And I'm using the Builder Pro by Sonia G on the outer corner of my eye. This brush is really good for building up impact. Taking the darker shade and putting that on the outer V using the same brush. Also bringing it into the crease as well. This brush is really, really good. And I'm going to blend everything out with that crease brush that I used in the beginning. This is like my everyday look. It's flattering on everyone. Now I'm going to take the Rockstar eyeliner from Urban Decay. It's a perfect purple. If you have brown eyes, I really recommend you get it because it's going to make your eyelids pop. And that is, if you are turned off by that eye thing, then I'm sorry, because it was a little bit freaky. Now I'm going to take 1C from Makeup Forever. This is my favorite lip liner. I'm almost out. It's waterproof and it lasts all day. My top lip is a bit smaller than my bottom, so I tend to over exaggerate my top lip, and then I will later blend it all out with my finger. Sometimes I'll be a bit sloppy with this because I'm going to go in and put concealer all over and kind of shape my lips a little bit, you'll see. But yeah, I'm just blending this out right now. So I'm using this is called, I think it's called Striptease from Jeffree Star. It's like a kind of warmish brown. This is one of his liquid lipsticks. I love his formula so much. One of my favorite formulas. So now I'm taking a lighter shade. Actually, this is a darker shade. I'm taking a darker shade. I'm going to put that on the outskirts of my lips. This is a new trick that I'm trying. At first, I thought it was going to turn out really bad, but it actually turned out really good. I'm going to make a separate video on how to do this. It really made my lips look a lot bigger, like they had filler in them. So I just put that on the outskirts of my lips. And now I'm just taking a gloss. This is from Velvet Palette Co. Just a pink gloss, light pink. So now I'm doing that trick I was talking about earlier. So I'm taking the same concealer from Makeup Revolution. I'm just like putting that on the outside of my lips. So we're just going to shape the lips, and also like any bleeding or any type of lip, like if I went outside the lines, I'm able to just go ahead and cover that with the concealer, as well as I feel like it makes my lips pop more. I'm just using a Juno & Co sponge, but you can use like anything to blend that out. Next, I'm going to go with a light pink. This is from Jeffree Star also, and I'm going to put this in the middle of my lip only, and that's going to really make them look plump. I'm just going to blend that out with a brush. And I'm actually going to go in again with another layer of that light pink lip gloss. And I'm going to go in again with that light shade in the middle. We're kind of layering. I'm going to coin this term, layering your lips. I don't know if anyone else has ever done this before. I just kind of thought of it. Just messing around, being creative. But I think I've found out something awesome. I'm going to call it layering your lips. It just made my lips look at least 5 times bigger than they normally are. And now I'm going in with that same lip liner, and I'm just going to make sure the lines of my lips are completely outlined, which is also going to make them look bigger and juicy. So I'm going in with that ColourPop brush again, fluffy, and I'm just bronzing the face a little bit more with that same Kosas Baked Bronzer. Now I am going to smooth through my eyebrows, and I'm going to just do my eyebrows using those 2 middle shades. And I'm going to start at the bottom and kind of outline my eyebrows using a angled brush. I love to use powder. It just looks more natural in my opinion, and it's a lot easier than a pencil or even a wax. I could spend a whole video talking about eyebrow tricks and what colors to use, but I'm just going to show you what I do quickly. Now I'm going to go in with the two darkest shades in that palette, and I'm just going to darken up that crease a little bit more. It's a lot easier to add than take away, so I tend to go light, and then if I want more, I'll add more later, as you can see. Now I'm going in with that trio from Anastasia Beverly Hills, which by the way is super similar to the e.l.f. X Gen Atkins Palette. I'm going to show you guys in a little bit, but I'm just going to go over the blush one more time. Look, you guys, like that is a total dupe for the Italian Summer palette. I didn't even realize how similar they are until I put them right next to each other. I think I'm overdue for a dupes video. Now I'm just recurling my lashes, if any eyeshadow got on there. You want to make sure that your eyelashes are completely dry before you curl them after you put on mascara, or you can break your lashes, so just be careful. I don't do this that often because I don't want my eyelashes to break, obviously. Next, I'm going in with the Pat McGrath palette. I think this is her Mothership 6 palette. I just wanted to add an extra pop. I felt like my eyeshadow was kind of boring, so I'm going to go in with that really glitzy shade. She doesn't have shade names, so we're just gonna have to describe it. So it's super glitzy, it's super sparkly, it has sparkles in it. This would be really great for a holiday party or New Year's. It's very sparkly. I'm gonna go in with that deepest brown. This color is really, really pigmented, so if I just want to deepen up a look, I'll add it. Also, I can use it as a liner. This is like the standout shade in this palette for me, due to the fact that I can literally use it as a liner, eyebrows, and I can use it to deepen up any look and create a smoky eye. Really, really good formula for a matte. I'm just going to blend that out with a two-sided brush. This is from the Naked palettes, the brushes that it comes with. Just making sure there's no harsh lines. Now I'm going to take my hair down. I'm going to show you guys how I do my hair. This is like second or third day hair. This is what I do when I am going to do my hair on second, third day hair. So this is a dry shampoo. I believe I got this from like the dollar store, but it works like really, really well. I'm going pretty heavy handed with this. So on third day hair, I like to use dry shampoo just to add volume and take out all the oils. So the key to dry shampoo is let it sit for like at least 30 seconds and like soak up all the oils. Now I'm setting my face with the Dewy Set from Anastasia Beverly Hills. And I'm going to apply more lip gloss. The Anastasia Beverly Hills Dewy Set reminds me a lot of MAC Fix Plus. They pretty much have the same formula. I just really like the packaging. So I'm going back into the palette from Pat McGrath, and I'm just using my fingers to apply this like medium copper shade as my lid shade. It's so gorgeous. I'm just putting that on my lid with my fingers, which I feel like is the best way to apply it. Just setting every part of my face. So now I'm going to show you how I do my hair. So basically I take it into sections and I pretty much tease it lightly with this comb I got from Ulta. I just tease every single section very lightly. Since my hair is kind of flat, I missed the spot with the dry shampoo. But yeah, this pretty much only lasts like a day or two. I feel like after I use dry shampoo, my hair gets super gritty. So that's only like a day or two. And now I'm using this texturizing spray from Chi. This is like it's not a hairspray. It's more like adding grit so that the volume stays. I also like to use this on my bangs, kind of like so I can have more volume on top. That's kind of why I bought it. And just making sure all my hair is covered. I try not to wash my hair too much due to, you know, it's not good to wash your hair every single day. Now I'm going back in with that Mcgrath palette. And I'm actually going to use some shades to outline my eyebrows. As I said, that dark brown shade is my absolute favorite because it's just so smooth. I like to do my eyebrows last. Like that's like my finishing touch, because I feel like I wanted to match the rest of my makeup. And now I'm just going to outline my eyebrows with a concealer to make them pop, just like I did with my lips. And I'm going underneath my cheekbone as well. I don't know why it's like this, but whenever you just put concealer underneath something or over something, it kind of like makes it stand out or lifts it. I'm just using that mini brush from Sonia G. Yeah, so I'm using that underneath my contour to lift my cheekbones and my eyebrows. And just going over my whole face with that brush. Now I'm going back in with that bronzer, and I'm going to contour my nose a little bit. So I am just lifting up my nose. I'm going underneath and going on the sides. I have a long nose, so I like to make it look a little bit shorter. So that's why I'm putting it underneath my nose. Looks kind of crazy right now, but you'll see. So I'm going in with this brush, and I'm just making sure that this is super blended because it's pretty embarrassing if it's obvious. And now I'm going to go with the powder and blend it into each other. Obviously, don't want any harsh lines, just a natural contour. Just contouring my face a little bit more. And blending it out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Join the family. I would really appreciate it. Toodles. Bye-bye.